Hi, this is Kevin Dahlman, and I've got a very special guest on the phone today. With me is Ryan Scala from Corona, California. He's going to talk about some results he's had, mailing a few letters out for his business, and it's a pretty cool story. Hi, Ryan. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, Kevin. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here because you've got a great story. Tell the listeners a bit about your business. What do you do? And then we'll go into what's been happening for you.
Sure. I own a real estate investment company that buys houses through the mail. Been doing it for about 9 years, and the last probably 3 months have just been the most amazing turnaround that I've seen in the last 9 years. It's been pretty amazing, and I have you to thank for it, but we can get into that in just a minute.
Yeah, that's. I can hardly wait to hear how great I am. No, but you've got a great business. Truthfully, it's like been driving a Ferrari for me to get involved with. What was going on before we started working together?
Actually, the answer to that question is yes on both counts. When I very first got started in the business, I used to go out to people's homes and sit in their living room and try to negotiate with them, and that was a tremendous waste of time. And so we switched over to, I had a business partner who recently departed from, and for the last 3.5 years when we decided to stop meeting with people in their homes, we switched to doing it all over the phone. So we would send them something in the mail to get them to pick up the phone and call, and we negotiated with them over the phone and try to buy their houses that way. And we did really well, but it's, being on the phone, and it's not like, I work at home, so it's not like I have a phone room with 30 telemarketers sitting in it waiting to take calls. It was me and my business partner, and we made it work, but it was very, very labor intensive.
It was labor intensive. Was that what motivated you to seek me out as someone who could write a sales letter for you? Were you hoping to kind of clone your selling process and turn it into a sales letter somehow?
My original motivation for contacting you was not the not wanting to the manual process. It's that so I recently split from my former business partner, and he was the phone guy. I hate being on the phone. I hate talking to sellers. I'm not a good negotiator, and I acknowledge and recognize that. My job in our partnership was to make the phone ring. His job was to talk on it. And I know that is not my strength, and when we parted ways, I realized that I had to replace him pretty quickly, and I was not going to be the one to do that. I'm not willing to take on employees. Wasn't looking for another partner to come in and replace him. So, and because I've done so well with the marketing and doing direct mail before that, I figured it just kind of seemed like the logical step was to try to replace him and what he did with a more automated process with copywriting and follow-ups by sales letters that way, trying to do what he did over the phone through the mail.
Got it. So you were trying to really fill a big hole in your business.
It really was, yeah. And as far as being wondering whether or not you were going to, or whether that process was going to work, being untested, of course, I had my reservations, but because you came so highly recommended from Craig Simpson, I knew that if my idea was going to work, you were the guy that was going to make it happen. So my reservation was not really with hiring you as a copywriter or spending the money that we did. It was really just whether or not my process or my theory was gonna pan out, as far as whether or not I could replace my phone guy with good marketing, and that's really proved to work out over the past few months. I'm really excited about the results that I've gotten.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So the big question is, have we been able to fill that hole? Have we been able to automate your selling and put some money in the bank?
Yeah. You, as I mentioned before we got on the call, you are one of my favorite people in the world right now, because so after we started transitioning to this new process and started testing the sales letters that you had worked on for us, the phone started to ring, people started calling with stuff for sale, and it started to work automatically, what we used to do with a lot of manual labor over the phone. And so just yesterday morning, well, let me back up. 7 days ago, I got an offer accepted from a guy. I did no negotiating with him. He got your package in the mail. He called and said yes. We rushed him out escrow docs, and we're actually, I think we're closing on that one tomorrow morning. I'm going to make $115,000 on that deal, and that's no longer with a 50/50 partner. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm in a little bit of a state of shock and disbelief over that right now. And then, so yesterday morning was a Monday, and 8:30 in the morning, I got not one but two sellers who had received your sales package last week. I didn't negotiate with them on the phone. I didn't have to talk to them. They got your package with the offer that I had sent them, and they were both calling to accept first thing on the Monday. I mean, what a great way to start a week. So in the last 7 days, I've got $206,000 in cash and equity that are lined up as a result of the work that we've done with you. And those are actually, we have another one. I think we've bought two more prior to that with even just the rough draft of the letter that we were sending out. So money well spent.
Yeah, I should tell listeners you are such an eager beaver. You actually mailed out the rough draft and made a sale before we were done. Now that does not all often happen. It's not recommended, but you saw value in what we were just roughing out, and you made a sale before we were finished with the sales letter. So obviously, results not typical with Ryan Scala, but $200,000 in 7 days. That's not a bad quarter of a month. I mean, you're not going to get $800,000 this month. Maybe you are, but it's a nice run rate.
Actually, $800,000 was my goal for the year. I think I'm 2 months ahead of schedule or something like that. I was just looking at my stats last night, and I was pretty shocked. I was, like I said, I was in a little bit of a state of disbelief because it really, those are not typical numbers for me. And like I said, I'm not having to split that with anybody anymore. So
yeah,
wow. So I couldn't be happier with the work that you've done for us, Kevin.
So what do you see for the future? How do things where do things go from here?
Well, as you and I just discussed, we've hired you now for more work with copywriting, doing more of the follow-up that we used to do over the phone. You wrote the initial touch for us, or the initial offer package, which has worked out great. And I know just from prior experience that some people just take a little longer to convert. And so you're now working on the pieces to keep in touch with them and remind them of all the great reasons that they should do business with me. So I'm really excited to see the results that are going to come from that as well. And I already know that it's going to work. I just want to get them in the mail as soon as possible.
Fantastic. Ryan, thanks so much for sharing your story. You've given some ideas and I hope some inspiration to people. I really want to thank you for joining me.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate it.